About a year ago, I purchased this Swagman Chinook Bike Rack, and I put out a video showing how to assemble it, but I didn't show how to actually put it onto your vehicle, nor did I give it a review. And so today I'm going to go over how to put this bike rack onto your vehicle, and then I'm also going to tell you my 1-year review of how this has performed over the last 12 months.
I store my bike rack on the wall using this hook system, and I just take it down here. It's a little bit heavy. It is a pure steel construction with just a few exceptions for a few plastic parts where it's necessary. But all you do is you put the bike rack into the receiver of your hitch. It can fit a 2-inch or the smaller sized hitch. And then you put your hitch lock pin into the side of the hitch and screw it down using a 19mm wrench or a socket wrench set. And then Swagman actually gives you this locking hub to lock the pin in place. Give you 2 keys, and you can just close up that lock so that it doesn't get dirt inside. And so here's what it looks like when it's in its folded up stage if you're driving and you don't have bikes in it. And the next step is to fold down the bike rack to open it up so you can put the bikes in. And to do that is just reach down and grab with my right hand. There's a little latch there, and you pull back with your left hand so it opens it up. And then there's a latch to lift the center post up, which has the hooks that hold the top of the bikes. And here's another view of that center post being lifted up and the latch that controls it. Now you get your bikes and put them on. One faces to the left and one faces to the right, so I'll put the first one on facing left. And then once you get the wheels into the wheel tray, you pull down the hook on the center post, as I've shown here. Those hooks have nice padding around them, won't scratch your bike, and they do hold them very securely. And here's the second bike. It's a child's bike, and so we'll do the same. We'll put it in the center and then lower the hook to get it into place. Now we noticed that the wheel tray was not centered on this black bike, so we just had to make a small adjustment by sliding the wheel tray back a little bit. Just unscrew the clamp and then re-tighten it where you want it to be. Now here's a close-up of the hooks that hold the bikes in place. The long one goes facing inward toward the vehicle, and the short one points backward away from the vehicle. Both of those slide with a ratcheting action. You don't need to push the button to slide it down, but you do need to push the button to slide it up. And so the key here is the same one that controls the hitch pin, and it's locked in place. It's not high security, but it sure doesn't hurt. And then here's a close-up of how you secure the wheels in place using the little belt straps. Again, this has a ratcheting action. You just slide the belt through the receiver and it locks in place, and you just press the tab to loosen them.
Lastly, if you have an SUV, this rack has a feature that allows you to lean the rack back to access the rear door without unloading the bikes. Now that we've shown you how to install and load the bike rack, let's turn to the review. And I'll just make this quick and easy. This rack has been terrific. It's exceeded all of my expectations. I wasn't wanting to spend $800 or more for a high-end 2-bike rack, but I don't feel I really missed out on anything by choosing the Swagman Chinook. I think the best story I can tell you is the first time that I used it. We had planned a 13-hour trip driving from Dallas to Durango and then 13 hours back, so it was 26 hours. Durango has a terrific bike trail through town that we wanted to explore, and decided to buy this rack so that we could carry our bikes. And I won't lie, I was pretty anxious about the 26-hour drive, but it worked out perfectly. There was no rattling rack, there were no damaged bikes, and much to my surprise, the bikes even arrived not covered in bug splatter. And we had a terrific time in Durango. You should visit. You should bring your bikes. So if you're on the fence, don't hesitate. It's a terrific value and a solid rack. I'll put a link in the description below for the rack, and also some recommended hooks for hanging your rack and the bikes like I showed in the video. Also, don't forget to watch the Chinook assembly video I made last year. There are a few things that are good to know before you tackle assembly. It only takes a few minutes and it isn't difficult, but I promise that the time you spend watching the video will end up easily being saved during your assembly phase. Lastly, if this video helped you in any way, the best way to thank me is to comment, like, and subscribe. With that, good luck and happy biking.